So before we get into the moose calling, we'll start off with the cow call first. But I know a lot of people think that cows call when they're in heat, but that's not what it is. If that was the case, cow calling would be really easy. It's a bull moose harassing the cow and then she calls. So let's practice the cow call. And I'll show you what a cow call sounds like, and then you can practice it there at home. This is it. The cow call is all about cadence, getting that proper cadence, the higher to the lower, then higher again. It's a nasally sound. So I push up here on my top of my nose here, and then I push at the bottom of my throat to get that sound. So practice that call at home, and we'll get into some more videos here, and I'll show you some of these, more of these bull moose being called in, coming into the cow call, responding to it. Now, people talk about the bull call. Well, the bull call can be a challenge. So the bulls will sit there sometimes and they'll rake the trees and they'll grunt and they'll challenge other bulls. But a bull grunt is pretty easy to do, and sometimes I'll bring the bull grunt in with the cow call, and what you want to do is mimic the sound of a smaller, more immature bull. So I do it like this. Same thing, same idea, just a shorter call, kind of turn it into a grunt. You don't have to get super fancy with your calls, but they should be fairly close and fairly consistent to what a cow moose sounds like. I was lucky. This is where I was born and raised. The moose rut here steadily behind my house. As a kid, I was able to listen to the moose calling, so I had great teachers. But even I'm not perfect or exact, and you don't have to be perfect or exact. Anyhow, let's watch some more moose video here. We'll get after some more for you, and stay tuned to Zero Harvest Safaris, because we got a lot of good programming coming up yet. Lots of moose calling, deer calling, as well as other animals about to get started here. So thank you so far for tuning in, and we'll get at her.
So what we'll do now is we'll move over to the north. You don't want to overcall in one spot. So we'll move over to the north now. We'll give a couple calls in there, and see if we get a response, and then we'll just keep checking. Come back in, keep checking, and see if anything. Just come out to the north here. We'll do a few calls in here, and see if we can reach out to some of these bulls a little farther out. They can hear the call, up to 3 miles away. Key is you're not trying to get the moose to come out here right now. You're just trying to reach out and have them hear you, and hopefully move in. And you do, try to do 8 to 10 calls in the evening. Try to do the same in the morning. Just keep working them. And like I said, you can preload your area with moose, and it does work.
called this bull out this morning. It's a nice bull. Called for quite a while, but he came in pretty quick. Stay tuned to Zero Harvest Safaris, because we got a lot of good programming coming up yet. Lots of moose calling, deer calling, as well as other animals about to get started here. So thank you so far for tuning in, and we'll get at her.